lying on your back, we're just gonna gently and easily relax the body. You can close your eyes. Take a couple of slightly deeper breaths. And as you start to come into your steadier breath this morning, just noticing what is here, what's showing up for you. What's in your body, what's sort of sitting in the muscles, being stored. And then also what is kind of in your mind, and what's your emotional status. Keep following your breath and just coming into a rhythmic and intentional inhale and exhale. And this week, my practices are going to be focused around gratitude. And I know I personally teach a lot to this theme. I know a lot of people come back to this theme. And I think there's a reason for it. I think that it is a really important practice. And so if you're in multiple classes of mine this week, you'll hear me talking some of the same stuff, hopefully some different stuff about it. But one of the things that I hear a lot, and it doesn't bother me, but we talk about an attitude of gratitude. I think that is true, and also for me, I was thinking that actually I think gratitude is a practice. I think it's literally something that we cultivate by intentionally doing something. And that's something, I was reflecting on this as I did my morning meditation around gratitude today. The something I think is learning to tune in really specifically to the present, to what we are experiencing in a moment. So I was thinking about this yesterday. We take a daily walk, the kids and I. It's our little PE time. It's our get outside time, and we walk the dog. And the cherry blossoms and the tree blossoms are coming into bloom, and there's just this moment where there are these blossoms just hanging down from this tree, and I just looked at it, and there was that moment of wonder and just amazement at the beauty that is there in that moment. And I thought to myself, if we could stop even for a split second in a moment in our life, and we can just see the beauty in it, I think that helps us to practice gratitude, right? Because I think that beauty and gratitude can go hand in hand. It's the observing that is required to see beauty, and then within that, I think naturally gratitude can arise. So I'll leave it at that for the beginning of today's practice. But so as we are practicing today, we're looking for maybe the moments, the glimpses within the practice where we just can appreciate something, where we just see ourselves for what we are, for the strength that we have within us, for even last week's practice of perseverance and tenacity. If we can sort of really see those qualities, see ourselves, see the beauty, and then feel that gratitude. So that's our focus for our practice. Let's deepen our breath. Let's go a little bit stronger. Start to come into your Ujjayi breath. I'm going to go ahead and lie down with you guys now. So as you start to breathe a little bit deeper, let's activate the legs. So we'll start off with our toes turning up towards the ceiling, pressing up through your heels, and gently, but definitely with intention, let's draw the belly in and down. So we start to feel a little core engagement. When you breathe in, you can soften that. And then again, exhale. And just start to draw it down. And inhaling. And one more time, exhale right where you are. Draw it down. Inhale, bring your hands and interlace them behind the back of the head. Keep your legs doing just what they're doing, so active feet. And draw the thigh bones down towards the ground. And then we're going to keep the belly drawing in and down. As you inhale, you will lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. You can curl your elbows up towards your toes a little bit here. And we're just going to inhale and exhale. As you take the pause, as you hold in this position, starting to activate the core, just noticing. So the practice of observation, the ability to see what is. So in this moment, in our practice, maybe we're not visually seeing, but we're feeling. Feel your body here, appreciating the strength that it has. And then keep holding this. If this feels like it's enough for you, stay right where you are. If you want to add a little bit more intensity, just take your right foot and hover the right foot about an inch or 3 centimeters above the ground. Try to keep the upper body lifting, almost as though you're trying to peel your shoulder blades off of the ground. Exhale, gently release, bring that heel down to the ground. And if you did it, then you can also try the other side. So you're just going to try and lifting your left heel just above the ground. So you'll feel that kind of across the body, initiating or engaging just a little bit more intensively there. And exhaling and gently placing your left heel down. And then if it's okay for you, so if your head is okay, you're going to lift up just a little bit higher here. So reaching your fingertips towards your toes and breathing in here and breathing out. Another thing that can really help us build that sense of gratitude is honestly to smile and laugh. Inhale here, just come up a little bit higher, and then as you exhale, we'll lower all the way back down. I want you to allow your legs to relax, just let your body soften for a moment. And then bring your legs a little bit closer together, not touching, but just a little closer together here. And we're going to activate the belly, so draw the belly in and down just a little bit, and then keep the belly nice and strong. Inhale, pull your left knee in towards you, and as you're lifting it up, you're going to bend the knee. You're going to pull it to the outer shoulder as far as it'll go naturally, and then exhale and reach the leg down towards the ground without touching the ground. Keep engaged. Breathe in here and breathe out. And inhaling and exhale. So think about bringing this leg almost like into a half happy baby shape. And exhale out. On its own, it might not do the whole shape, that's okay, just to the best of our abilities. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale and exhaling. And last one, oh my goodness, my knees are making this very funny crunchy sound this morning. Exhale and release. Let the left leg come down. We're going to switch right over. So active legs, belly active. Inhale, right knee comes in sort of towards your right shoulder. And then exhale and stretch it away from you. And inhaling and bring it in. And exhale and lower. Try to keep the core of the body as steady as possible as you do this. Just moving with your breath. And even as you're finding your movement this morning, just that keen eye, that ability to observe. 2 more. Exhale. And the last one, inhale, bring it in. And exhale. And gently release. Let that come down. Again, you can just relax the legs, relax the belly. Take a good inhale here into your belly. And exhale. And let it out. So from here, we're going to bring both of our legs in. So think happy baby without holding on to the hands. The hands instead are going to reach up as though they're about to, but aren't actually touching the feet. Now we're going to inhale here. As you exhale, try to lower the legs onto a wide diagonal. This is hard, so don't go any further than you need to. Bring it in again, and exhale, and lower. This is where the smiling comes in, inhaling, and exhale. Keep the belly strong, breathe in, and out. As you continue, you can start to pull your upper body and up a little bit so that the knees start to touch the arms, and then exhale. And you can even let your hips come away from the ground. Isn't this fun? And down, just a few more. Exhaling. I was observing in my class last night that I would have thought that I would start to make my classes a little bit gentler now that I have to do more of them. So it hasn't happened yet. Good, last one. Breathe in, squeeze. And exhale. And lower. Let's bring it in, knees to chest. Rock it out. Hands behind the thighs. We'll bring ourselves all the way up and through. Come on over to your hands and knees. So making your way into a tabletop position. As you come into your table, inhale, draw your right knee in towards your chest. And when you do this, I want you to think about really kind of hugging in and up as though you're trying to pull your knee as high up towards your chin as possible. And then exhale and reach it back. And just do that a few more times. Inhale and really squeeze it up until you feel your belly engage. Exhale and send it back. And one more just like that. Pull it in. And exhale and reach it back. Same leg is now going to come towards the triceps muscle or your armpits. So you're going to try to pull it up and exhale and release it back. As high up above that elbow as you can make it and send it back. And one more time, inhale, really lift it up and exhale and send it back. Releasing your right knee down. Let's go ahead, switch over to the opposite side. So the first one is just in center. We're going to inhale, pull it in, really try to lift, 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 and exhale and send it back. And again, inhale and squeeze and try to pull it, almost like you're trying to bring it to your chin. Exhale, reach it back. And one more time in the center, inhaling. And exhale and take it back. Now we're bringing it to our armpits as close as we can. So inhale and lift, and exhale and send it back. Think about how you can really squeeze that mid-body. Exhale back, and one more time. And exhaling. Awesome, and then we're going to release and bring that down. And from here, tuck the toes under, and let's make our way into our first down dog for the morning. Or whatever time of day it is for you. Let's pedal the heels out. And eventually, don't feel like you have to force the heels down, but just find your down dog shape right here. Inhale, take the right leg, bring it up. And as you exhale, really squeeze the belly and pull that knee in, again, as though you want to bring it to your chin. And inhale, stretch it back up. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And last one, inhale, lift. And exhale and squeeze. Let's take it back. And lower your right foot down. Left side, inhale, left leg up. Exhale. And breathe in. And breathe out. So each time you take this action, really trying to hug into the body. And last one here. And exhaling. Set it back. Downward facing dog. And from down dog, take a moment.
And then we'll walk our way slowly to the top of the mat. So inhale, lengthen the spine, come up halfway. And then exhale, release it all. So let the head go, let the arms go. Anything that was feeling overly active, just shake it out a little bit. From here, bend into your knees, nice soft knees. We're going to roll our spine and bring it all the way up to standing. And take a moment and just stand in your body. Close the eyes. I do these pauses for my own practice. I teach these pauses because, again, for me, it's the ability to kind of stop and to hold a moment that I think cultivates a practice, an appreciation, a practice in gratitude. So when you're standing here right now, and you can feel your blood flowing a little bit more, when you feel a sense of pulsing, a sense of aliveness in your body, that feeling can also transmute or can kind of turn into the sense of gratitude, appreciation for what is here. When you're ready to open your eyes, inhale, take the arms out and up, and exhale, swan dive out over the legs. We're going to breathe in, lengthen the spine, come halfway. As you exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms, step back into a plank or a modified plank position. We're going to lower down any way that you want to for these first couple, and just lift into cobra, big, small, doesn't matter, whatever is comfortable. And on the exhale, pressing back and making your way into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up through your right leg. As you exhale, bring your right knee towards your right armpit as far as you can. Hold it there. Now you can sort of feel your foot flailing around back there. I want you to imagine that you're going to try and touch your toes to your wrist. Might not happen. Don't worry about it. Stretch it back up into the air. Again, bring your knee to your armpit and then kick your foot forward and step it back. And one more time, bring it forward, kick the foot there, and step it all the way back. This time, take your right foot and step it to the outside of your right hand. And again, that might not happen in one piece. You might need to kind of do it in two pieces. That's okay. We're going to lower our left knee down to the ground. From here, take a breath. And just let your hips sink down a little bit. Even the ability to appreciate sensation, right? To be able to say, wow, I'm able to feel in my body. Can I have a moment here just to acknowledge sensation? 2 more breaths as you are. And last one here. Hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee, sweep it all the way back, right leg into the air, and exhale and release it down. If you want to, you can take a little flow here so you can come through your vinyasa, and or holding down dog, or finding child's pose. Meeting back in downward facing dog on a breath out. Now lifting up through the left leg. And as you exhale, we're going to try and bring that left knee to the left armpit. Kick the foot forward and stretch all the way back up. Again, bring it in and kick forward and reach it all the way up. Don't worry if it gets stuck on your mat. It's okay. Just bring it in. If it's stuck there, cool. Step it all the way back. This time we're stepping the foot to the outer edge of the mat. You may notice that just by having done that little exercise, that step forward is a little easier. And then lower the right knee down to the mat. We're gonna hang out here for some breaths, soft and easy. Let your hips move forward. Soften the face. Just a couple more. And one last breath here. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Right toes tuck under, lift the right knee up. And then again, you can sweep that all the way back, down dog split, lower the foot down to the mat. And here you have options to move again, so a little flow if that feels good, and also just to find some stillness in your body. Whatever brings you into a greater space of general overall presence, and from that presence and appreciation. When you're ready, you find your way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your gaze forward. As you exhale, step or hop, come to the top of the mat. Let's breathe in, lift the spine halfway up. Exhale and fold all the way down. Circle the arms, inhale, bring yourself right up to standing. Exhale, palms together at your heart center. Keep building, inhale, reach it up. And exhale, swan dive out over the legs. Lengthen the spine, inhale. Bend your knees, plant your palms, and come back through a flow of your choice. Inhaling, coming into upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. So we're going to do those same little toe taps. And the reason why is not because I want to torture you, but actually because the repetition is really going to help to build the movement in your body. So right leg in the air, as you exhale, right knee into chest, and then kick the foot forward. This time see where it lands. Maybe you actually can step right behind your wrist, and then reach it back up. Same thing. And back. And bring it forward. And back. We're going to step into our dragon, so step the foot to the outer edge of the mat, lower the back knee down. Walk it forward. Any space that you do have, you can come on down, you can bring it onto your forearms, onto a bolster, or just hang tight wherever you are. Giving a little bit of relief to the hip flexors. And then start to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. And here we're going to tuck our the left toes under, lift the left knee up and away from the ground. So what we're going to do here is really kind of identify the strength and the lift up here that's going to level out the pelvis. So we're not sagging down anymore. We're not kind of sinking into the hip flexor. We're actually really intentionally trying to bring our pelvis into neutral. As you do that, your right outer hip and your right glute will fire up a little bit more. So that's what we want to feel. And we're going to hold that and breathe in here. And breathe out. Try to keep the hips really level. Let your right hand come off of the floor. Left fingertips perched up or even coming up onto a block here to create a little bit more space or whatever your prop might be. And then without letting the hips change, just see if you can twist towards your right side. So the focus here is on the pelvis and on not kind of dropping down, really keeping the hips nice and level. Even as you twist, one more inhale here. As you exhale, release. Bring your right hand on the inside again. Step this back and bring it into down dog split. From here, take an inhale and exhale. Inhale, bring the same knee, right knee, towards your right arm. And then step the foot behind your right wrist. Doesn't matter if it's a little further back, just where it lands. From here, we're going to transfer our weight. You're going to lift that left leg and pull it in towards your left armpit Good morning. Exhale, send it back and step back into downward facing dog. Just pretend that didn't happen. Just walk it out real quick. All right, when you're ready to here, take your left leg, bring it up into the air. And as you exhale, bring that left knee towards your armpit and then try to step the foot right behind your wrist. Even if it ends up here, even if it ends up here, it's okay. Send it back up into the air. And bring it in, and down, and sweep it back. And here again, and step, and back. This last time you're stepping to the outer edge, and we're gonna bring both hands on the inside, lower the back knee, take a moment. You can come forward, and just an observation. I know that a lot of times, if I face towards you for a second, you can see this better, but a lot of times when we come and we kind of sink into the hips hips aren't totally even anymore. I know mine aren't. So I'm sinking a little bit more into that right side. So just to note that, so that when we come into the next bit, we feel the difference for the pelvis. So one more, or two more breaths here. And then we'll walk ourselves back up. And we're going to tuck the right toes and lift that right knee up and away from the ground. So as I pick up that leg, I'm shoring up the hip flexor. Just punched myself. And we're going to take a moment and really try to focus on the pelvis, so the integrity of what's happening in the pelvis here. How level can it be? You can feel for yourself. And just knowing that the more that we can observe here, the better in terms of cultivating and understanding. We're going to come up onto a block or our fingertips on the right side, release the left hand, and then without changing that pelvis, see if you can really keep the left glute firing and lift the left arm up. Good times. So it's a different feeling than kind of sagging or sinking into that hip. This requires much more kind of uplift. Pelvic floor nice and engaged. Inhale, one more. As you exhale, bring the left hand back down on the inside. And we're going to sweep the left leg back up into the air. Same leg. Just to happen again, you guys. Inhale, bring your left knee towards your left armpit, and then step the foot behind your left wrist. Keep your hands planted. Fire up the left glute and bring your right knee towards your right armpit. And just breathe, and then step it back. If you want to take a little flow, take a flow. If not, this is definitely a pause, a child's pose, or child's pose isn't restful. Just come into any seated position. Maybe have a sip of water, maybe do a little wrist stretch for yourself. Breathing in and out. Taking the pause wherever it happens to be, whether that's child's pose or seated, taking that pause to feel in your body everything that's here. And then to come into that practice. So if we're saying gratitude is not just an attitude, it's actually a practice, then you can name what you're appreciating right now in your body. So in this pause, in this moment, name one thing in your mind, or out loud, because I can't hear you. One thing that you appreciate right now in your body. I appreciate that I can feel my heart beat, to know how fully alive I really am. And then when you're ready to, bring your hands back to the floor, tuck the toes under. Make your way back to downward facing dog. From down dog, let the gaze come forward, step or hop your way lightly to the top of the mat. We'll breathe in and lift and lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, take the arms all the way up to stand. And exhale, palms together at your heart center. Take a breath. Exhale it out. At any moment, in any time, we can practice building that observation, that ability to really see and experience, and therefore to find gratitude for what is. Release your arms, eyes open. Inhale, stretch the arms out and up. And exhale, swan dive out over the legs. Take a breath. Lift and lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, you can move through any vinyasa and make our way to downward facing dog after that flow. So be mindful. If this is heavy on your wrists today, you might choose fists sometimes. You might forego the vinyasas. It's all good. Just picking and choosing what you need in the practice and what will be okay in your body today. So from our down dog, inhale, take your right leg up into the air. We're just going to do a little bit of alternating. So as you exhale, in 1 or 2 steps, as lightly as you can, you're going to try to bring that right foot to the outside of your right hand. This movement hopefully is a little bit easier now. We're going to lift it all the way back up and step it down. Left leg, inhale. And exhale, left foot forward. And bring it up. And down. Let's go with the right this time. See if you can just step there. And step back. And left, step. And back. And one more to each side. Right side. And back. And left side. It's just like the core work. And step it back. This time we're going to step that right foot forward. Bring it to the outer edge. And then just like last time, we're going to keep our hips lifted, keep our back knee lifted, and try to fire up our right glute a little bit more. This is where a block or bolster can come in handy. What we're going to do is try to walk our hands as far across to the outer right leg as possible. So here in this case, I have a couple of blocks set up. If the ground is not accessible without dropping this left hip, what I'm going to do is just come up high. Oh, look, I can even use my plant. So get creative. If you have a bolster, you can have your fingertips on a bolster too. So all the options there. And you'll notice that if you really work on keeping the hips level, that right hip is doing good things. One more inhale here. Exhale, walk it slowly back. From here, take your hands just slightly forward. Plant your palms, and we're going to pull our left knee towards the armpit. Hold and breathe, hold and breathe. One more breath here. Exhale, step it back. Come into downward facing dog, flow this out, or any other movement that will feel good for you. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Now we're going to alternate again, this time starting with the left leg. So inhale, take your left leg up to begin. Exhale, step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Reach it back up. And exhale and bring it down. Right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step it forward to the outer edge. And lift up. And bring it down. Now just step. So see if you can directly step and bring it back as far forward and to the outside as you can. Right side and back. One more time each side. You can go slower than I am. And back. And last right side. And step it back. Now the left foot's going to step forward. And I'm going to keep the hips as level as possible here. So one of the things that I have to really work on for myself is to pull the front leg, that hip crease back in space, and then watching to make sure I don't drop into the right hip. And then from there, I'm going to walk my hands around as far as I can, maybe coming on to something with a little bit of height here, especially first thing in the morning. And we're going to keep that left hip really as active as possible. Don't drop the hips down, keep the pelvis lifted. 2 more breaths. Last one. Bring the hands back. So here you're going to walk your hands just a little further forward. Plant the palms. Your left foot stays where it is. And we're going to try to bring our right knee in towards the armpit. If this is a lot on your wrist, you do not have to have all the weight in the hands. You can shift to fists even. So it should be equally core as it is arm balancing. And then step it back. And again, option to flow or to find some stillness. And back into downward facing dog. Let's lower the knees down for a moment and just sink back. Maybe pause if you want to in child's pose or lift yourself up to sitting for a breath. Give your wrists a little shake out if you need to. Okay. So we're going to take a moment to explore, see what happens with that crow shape again. So for some of us that might mean actually taking the full balance, and for some of us it's going to be doing the same work that we just did, but just from a static position. So one of the sort of core actions that we've been practicing here today is that pull up and in. And we were doing it through the stepping forward, which, to be honest, the uplift that we need to step forward well and to step forward kind of lightly is very similar. It's a similar action to what is needed here in crow as well. So that's part of the reason why I was combining these movements. So here, to lift this into this, I can feel a lot of the same kind of strength as I would in crow. So now you can bring yourself into a crow press. So you can have your feet wide, toes slightly turned out, and your wrists are in front of your toes, but a little distance here. So this will feel quite comfortable, hopefully, after trying to stand right behind your wrists. And then from here, you can play, so we can tip in towards our arms. You can bend your arms or you can work with straight arms. And then here you might just alternate. This is one of my favorite ways to actually just strengthen my crow, is to alternate my feet. You can also come into the full balance if that is interesting to you. We're just taking that as an opportunity to combine these parts of ourselves. So not just relying on dumping into the wrist, but actually trying to actively pull away from the ground. If you're at home and you're nervous about falling, you can always kind of grab yourself a little crash pad so that you feel psychologically it's going to be okay. And playing for one more breath. And then go ahead and just release. And here I'm going to have you just take some little wrist clears. So we're going to give our wrists a little bit of a break. Just one side and then the other. We've got one last flow, and I'm going to actually show it first before we do it together, only because it moves a little bit differently. And then we will do it together. So you can just keep stretching your wrists, keep doing what you're doing, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you. So from downward facing dog, we're gonna just do a couple of switches like we did. So step forward, step back. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. So I've done that a couple of times. And then I'm gonna come into that twist, maybe with support, maybe without. And then from the twist, I'm gonna come into, maybe I should do the other leg for you, here. So I'm in this twist here. And then I'm gonna let this come into, a seated twist. I'll take a moment, take a little seated twist here. And then from there, we're just gonna keep going around and lift up into a reverse tabletop. From reverse table, we're gonna keep going around. So basically, you'll notice that I'm sort of circling around myself. From here, we're gonna lower the hips, bring ourselves around, and come back into downward facing dog, and then lower down onto our elbows. So those who might want to, or if you're confident, you can from there hop into a little arm balance, or just hold, or maybe you're just taking a little hop today. Exhale, bring it down, press into your palms and lift back up, downward facing dog. And we'll go through the other side. So let's give that a go. Starting at the top of the mat. Don't worry if you get a little bit lost, no one's watching. Okay, actually take a pause. Bring your hands onto your heart center. Close your eyes. Breathe in and out. Even the observation of our breath is a profound one. It's a reminder that we are alive, that we are healthy enough to be here on our mats. So maybe we're not in perfect health, but even just to acknowledge, yes, wow, okay, my physical body allows me this privilege of moving on my mat. You'll notice that that observation, in turn, becomes a feeling of gratitude. So whatever happens, however far you go or don't go, this is the feeling, this is the space. Release the arms. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward and down. And take the breath, lengthen the spine on the inhale. As you exhale, find your way to downward facing dog. That can be through a whole flow or just a step back. So in recognition of those wrists, you may not do the same kind of vinyasa every time, that's okay. When you're ready, we're gonna just start stepping forward to outside of our hands. Right foot first, inhale. Exhale back. Left foot, inhale. Exhale back. Right foot again, inhale. And exhale, and last one on the left. Inhale. And exhale. Right foot steps forward, inhale. And shore up the legs, shore up the glute. Walk your hands around as you exhale. So they can be up on your bolster or your prop of choice. Take another breath, inhale here. And then we're gonna take our left knee, bring it in, and now I have my glorious back view. So I'm just gonna turn myself. So left knee on the bottom, right knee on top, and you're coming into a little seated twist. If the bottom knee or either knee bothers you, just extend that left leg out, that's totally fine. Take a moment, wrap around, inhaling, and exhaling. And then from here, the top leg will just step over the bottom leg, bring the hands behind you, press into your feet, lift the hips up, reverse table. One more inhale here. Right hand is going to be your sort of plantar hand. You're going to turn the fingers out towards the top of the mat. And from there, swivel all the way around and up into your down dog split. Bend at the elbows, lower the forearms, and bring yourself into a little forearm stand prep. So here, hopping or just holding one breath in and out. And then we'll exhale, press into both palms, and lift back into downward facing dog. You've got this, guys. One last side. We're going to start with our left foot first. So inhale, step forward, and exhale, and back. And right foot forward, right foot back. One more to each side. Step forward, and back, and forward, and back. You're going to take your left foot forward, just switching sides for you. And activating the front hip, walk the hands across, bring them to the outside of your left leg. Use your props as needed. Breathe in here. And out. And then this right knee from here is going to come in, and we're going to just turn sideways to come into our seated twist. As you come into the twist, remember to free up your bottom leg if you are uncomfortable in your knees or your hips aren't settled. And then you're twisting towards your left knee. And you can kind of wrap your arm around your shin as is comfortable. One more breath here. And just release the arms. So from here, release the top leg. Bring your hands behind your hips. Push down into the palms. Lift the hips up, reverse table. Yes, there is no comfortable position for your head. Fully acknowledged. And I'm here to keep the circle going. Your left fingertips point towards the front of the mat. And you're just going to circle all the way around and lift the left leg up into the air. Down dog split here. Lower down onto your forearms. Take that however you want it. And a hop here, or don't add the hop here. Come back into down dog. And we're going to press into the palms, lift ourselves back up. And then from there, take your knees, bring them down to the mat, and sink back. And here you can feel grateful that it is almost done. One more breath. Gently bring yourself up to sitting now. And we're going to swing our legs out in front. So in a seated position here, we're going to take our right ankle and cross it on top of the left knee. So for many of us, the distance might be need to be a little bit bigger. So you can walk your left foot out further, you can take your hands out further. You walk them in as far or as close as you need in your body today. Take a few breaths here. The straighter your spine, the more sensation. The more sensation, the more we know we are alive. The more we know we're alive, the more grateful we can feel. And at least that's how I think it goes. And then from there, we're going to straighten the left leg out. Keep your right foot just where it is on top of your left thigh. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale. And just come forward. And here, if this doesn't feel good, if for any reason there's too much pressure on your left knee, you can move your right foot on the inside. But you can also keep it on top here. And just fold forward, variation of Janusirsasana. In the stillness, in that quieter moment, just
Again, an opportunity to observe closer. And we're walking our way nice and slow, all the way back up right here. You can stretch your right leg out. And then we're going to go ahead and bend both of the knees. Plant your feet. You may need to take your spine back a little bit in order to get your left foot to sit on top of the right knee. And then once you have that position, you can walk it in and take a little seated ankle to knee here. Noticing how to increase that intensity again by drawing the spine up as straight as possible. So I kind of am using my fingertips here, a little wedge, to open the chest up to keep the spine nice and tall. And I'm going to breathe into all the goodness that's happening around this left hip. Sweet. Be the observer here. Take in the details. One last breath as you are. And then from there, you can extend your right foot straight out. Keep the left ankle, if it's okay, where it is. If not, bring it on the inside edge of your right leg. If this is a lot of pressure, you can, of course, place something underneath your left knee as well. And then inhale, let's reach the arms up. And as you exhale, just come on forward and down. Couple more breaths. And one last one. Inhale now, making your way back upright. And as you exhale, gently releasing your left leg, you can relax both of your knees, your legs here. Give yourself a little massage. And then we're going to make our way down onto our backs. So we will be staying there for our Shavasana. So if you want to cover up, if you want to put on your layers now, you're welcome to do that. And then gently roll your spine all the way down. And before, if you're ready to, obviously you can come right into Shavasana, but before that, if you'd like to, you can pull your knees in towards your chest. So without the arms, I know we instinctively always go for the arms, but without the arms, just notice if you and your core can pull those knees in towards the armpits a little bit more. And then inhale and lift the feet up towards the sky. And see what your happy baby is like right now. You can then reach your hands to your feet, and you can use them to help you go the rest of the way. So the other practice that we did today is really about building that active range of motion rather than just the passive range of motion for these dragon or happy baby positions. So that's fun. You can rock if your spine doesn't mind it. You might like to rock this out. If the bones are really kind of sticking out a lot, that doesn't
necessarily feel good. And we'll just take 2 more breaths. And gently release the grip and let your knees come together. You can give them a hug here now, or you can do little circles. Maybe they move out and away from each other, or maybe they move together, your choice. And when you're ready to, now we get to open the body up and come into Shavasana. So stretching the body out as you started, just lying flat on your back here, perhaps a bolster to assist or staying flat, and then letting the arms be alongside your body, relaxing all the way down through your shoulders, nice and broad in your chest, and settling the bones here as best you can. Eyes are closed. If the practice of gratitude is linked with the ability to observe and be present, then even in a moment like this, we want to keep our awareness here. So we're not planning for what's next, we're not anticipating our day, but we're really allowing ourselves to soak in the release from our practice. So right here, right now, appreciating our bodies, the stillness that they're in, relaxing the mind, you can breathe and just allow for a sense of space within yourself as the breath moves in and out, smoothing the space between your eyebrows, loosening your jaw. Let go of trying to control the breath now. Instead, just noticing as it moves in and out. Let your breath deepen. Really feel it move in and out of you. Can you appreciate each breath as it moves in and out? Can you appreciate the feeling within yourself right now? As you're ready to begin to move your body slowly, starting at the ends, moving in. You might want to roll out your wrists and ankles today, just particularly from the work that we've done.
If it feels good to stretch your arms overhead, go for it. If you'd be happy just to stay where you are, or roll into a little ball, you can. And then coming to your side and guiding your way slowly back up to a seated position, keeping the eyes closed and staying within just this last little bit. And as we get ready to step into our day, so especially when we're, at home and we just kind of had this little moment to ourselves, this practice, and we're just going to walk right out of this room and have to kind of go into the day. See if you are able to keep the observer as a piece of your practice today in practicing gratitude. So the observer being the one that sees what is in a moment and maybe captures that beauty and has that moment to say, wow, that is awesome. So make that perhaps a little practice of gratitude off of your mats. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Closing with the sound of Om. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale to Om. Bring your palms together at your heart center. Bow your head. Acknowledging your practice, give thanks to yourself for your efforts and your presence this morning. Namaste.